If I did absolutely nothing today, didn't touch it, didn't talk about it, didn't think about it, I went home, came back tomorrow, would everything still be okay? 99.9% of the time, the answer to that is, yeah, it's not broken.
So, welcome to the Unleashed Learning Podcast, the show helping you lead learning in the era of overwhelm. My name is Dr. William DeJean. I'm the host of the podcast. I'm also the founder of Unleashed Learning. And today we've got the final of our four-part series, specifically focusing on early career leaders helping you thrive in the era of overwhelm. So, if you're in your first 5 years as a new leader, this series is for you. If you know somebody in their first 5 years, you might consider forward these episodes to them to set them up for success. I'm joined by my colleague, Stephen Trotter, who's an author, former school principal, and today he helps educational leaders and school leadership teams turn complexity into clarity. Now, if you're just joining us, this is the fourth episode. The first episode was what all new early career leaders need to know. The second one was what the era of overwhelm means to early career leaders. Our last episode was how to create a success team to thrive in the era of overwhelm. So if you haven't watched or listened to those, I invite you to do it. Our last episode is here, and we're going to explore how to lead learning as an early career leader. This is really, really important stuff. And here we go. Okay, so here we are back, Stephen, episode 4. Now, if people are just joining us, we are doing this mini-series, right? Sounds like a TV thing. But we're doing a mini-series designed specifically for early career leaders, how to thrive in this era of overwhelm. And they're specifically for those leaders. They've probably just stepped into leadership, or maybe they've been there first 5 years. And we've talked about in episode 1, I'm going to remind myself because we talked about so much. Episode 1, what we thought they need to know about as early career leaders. The second one was what to know about the era of overwhelm. This new era that we're in, it's not going away. It
No, it's
means
not.
something for you. And we just talked about in episode 3 about the success team. We really encourage you to send that to somebody, build that success team. And now it's about how to lead learning in the era of overwhelm. So, Stephen, what I notice is in this era of overwhelm, there's two things for leaders. There is the leading learning, and there's a leading of people and admin. And in this
Yes.
era of overwhelm, I've heard leaders tell me, and that's not because they're bad, it's the era, that the leading of learning is dropping off the to-do list because the other stuff keeps going. So, what do we need to tell? What do you want early career leaders to know? This is a big topic. How to
Huge.
lead learning in this era as an early career leader.
Absolutely. And, being a long time school leader myself, I know that pull towards I'll call it the stuff, the tasks. A lot of them are sometimes accountability or system tasks, and there's pressures involved with that and timelines and things. But ultimately, we have to keep reminding ourselves we are environments for learning. We
Mm.
have to be great environments for learning. And we want our kids to be happy and healthy and enjoy, but we know they get that through being engaged in really high quality learning. So, as our school leaders, that's the culture we want to set. We don't want to set a culture of stuff and tasks. We want to set a culture of learning. And that's adult learning as a professional, as well as our learning as an educator with the students sitting in front of us.
I just got to go amen to that. Okay. I just need to amen to that. So I just need to
Yeah,
screen that out. And if I was an early career leader, I would write that down and put it on my office wall, what Steven said to remind you. So pardon the interruption, but I'm like,
yeah.
that's so important what you just said in this era that we're in for
It
leaders.
is. It is. And I can stand here and say it, and you go, "Oh, yeah, it's easier said than done." But I've done it. I've been there. I understand it's hard, and we get these pressures pulling us in. I have this quote I use often with my teams. They'll come in and they'll go, "Oh, something's high level." And one of the questions I'll always ask is it broken?
Such a great question.
And that's initially they're sort of looking at me stunned, like, how could this concept be broken? And it's a task. And I go, is it broken? If I did absolutely nothing today, didn't touch it, didn't talk about it, didn't think about it, I went home, came back tomorrow, would everything still be okay? 99.9% of the time, the answer to that is, yeah, it's not broken. So that actually gives us time to think. That gives us time to plan. It gives us time to collaborate and to do things really well. And we have to know that if we prioritize our learning first, the task will get done. We just need to manage ourselves a little bit different. It's not changing how we lead, it's changing how we focus and the tasks that we do and need to do, and how we focus on the learning first, and then we get our jobs done, side to that. What are your thoughts in that space?
Well, I think it's spot on. And what we talk about at Unleashed Learning is that we really work with schools to get a teaching and learning mission. And the reason, because there's a big difference between a school's mission and having a teaching and learning mission. So the teaching and learning mission really gets to ensure the teaching and learning is the number one focus, but also if it's the right teaching and learning mission, we could do episodes about what I think it should be, but it'll get to the crux of people's thinking. So if you're running that staff meeting, you're going to be thinking about that teaching and learning mission because that will inform it. So if I'm leading, well, I shouldn't say for those early career leaders, one of the things I would remember is there's a big difference between leading people and leading learning. And I'm going to invite you to consider that what your work is about is to lead learning. You're trying to advance teaching and learning. You probably have a sense that probably not in crisis, you just know it can go the next level. And so what's needed today is the right structure. There's a system that's needed. And one of the things I've heard you talk about that's been really on my mind, Stephen, is there, and I use it in this language. When a state is mandate, now it's literacy this and well-being this, and I'm not minimizing this, but you could spend your days complying or you could build. And if you're going to decide to build, it means you've got a vision of what's happening and those initiatives, and you can go, oh, they fit on this part of the ship, and this is where we're going, or you're going to chase that thing and maybe burn yourself out. So we need a teaching learning mission. We need a system around us. And what I said we had talked about is it's teaching and learning stupid. And that was from a campaign in the States. Sorry to use a US, probably a bad time to talk about this, but they had a campaign thing that's it's the economy stupid. Well, I'm going to say put a sign that says it's teaching and learning stupid, and that's not being rude. It was just to, joking that we're a
Yeah,
teaching learning organization. And so I also think the last episode about the success team, you really capture about how to lead that change and learning about change. So that's there's so much we could talk about for it.
it's so much in that space, and like you said, around this, like I've been through several reforms as a school leader, and something I've learned over that journey is I actually have a lot more power, and I don't mean power as in status,
Mm.
but power
Agency.
as in being able to make really intentional decisions about how I'm going to approach those reforms. What am I going to do now, and what am I going to do later?
Mm.
The timeline might say this, but if that timeline doesn't suit the people sitting in my staff room that are going to then influence the little and big people in the classroom, well, that timeline's not right for us.
Mm.
And I need to own that. And as a leader, that takes courage. That takes
Yes.
a lot of courage to be able to do that. But it's so important to make really intentional, informed decisions about how am I going to lead learning.
I love it. So that and I think wraps up, the episodes, but it makes me think if people are going to be in Melbourne, they're an early career leader, they want courage, they want that success team, they want to focus on leading and learning, they want to think about change and how to step up in the era of overwhelm. If you're in Melbourne in May, Stephen and I are running an early career leaders day to help you thrive in the era of overwhelm. So we'll put the link someplace. I don't know where they put the link, but it'll
Yeah,
be there. And that's really an opportunity to be proactive about your professional learning rather than reactive. It's really about meeting some great people. And I'll say that's us too, but it's also be the people in the room.
well, there'll be a room of great
They'll be
people.
great people and put some structures and systems so you're not stretched that rubber band analogy that I'll always remember.
Yeah,
And you're not stretched, you're actually thriving. Your mental low is your mental load is a little bit lower. And you're really connected to your meaning and purpose and your values because we need you more than ever.
absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks for the series. We hope this supports early career leaders. If you are one for the series of someone, or maybe you're not one, but you know one, and they're in the first 5 years, forward it to them. You have no idea the impact it might have that someone is helping them out. They might be struggling in silence, or you might start a conversation. So, Stephen, thanks so much for the time. We'll see you in May.
Thanks, William. It's been great.
So that completes our 4 part series for early career leaders in the era of overwhelm. And if you're an early career leader or know one, we want to invite you, if you're in the Melbourne area on May 19th, we've got a day where Stephen and I are running a day called the Early Career School Leadership Day, building the foundations to thrive in the era of overwhelm. So come join us, build your success team, proactively put in structures that will set you up for success, have a little fun, a little thinking time, and we hope to see you there. Registration is open. See you soon.